Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are here in Cobbs Quay with Richard from Origin Yachts to have a look at this rather beautiful 2007 Princess 42. Now this boat, I have to say, is in absolutely pristine condition. Now I know people say that a lot, but this one genuinely is. And if you're looking at a circa 40-foot boat, Princess builds a beautiful and very well crafted boat. This is probably the one for you. So let's go and have a look on board. So we shall start on the bathing platform. We'll actually start at the back of the boat because you won't be able to see from this position, but tucked away down there is a stern thruster. Really decent, usable and safe bathing platform, quite deep. Lovely high coamings, which makes it really safe to store bits and pieces on. Great place to put your dinghy, and you can obviously then use the hydraulic passerelle here, not only to get ashore if you're in the Med, but equally using it as a hydraulic crane to lift your dinghy into the water and then back out of the water. And you'll see, if I step aboard down here, we have little clippers where you can clip in the V supports for the dinghy. Lovely grab handles, really chunky grab handles the whole way around, decent sized cleats, and again handrails that run all the way up the side here. On the far side, as you would expect under here, swim platform ladder, and then there's a deck shower down there. Little step here, so you want to climb over the seat you can do, and there's little deck lights placed everywhere. Sea gate, shut everybody in or out depending on what you want to do, and that takes you straight into this incredibly spacious cockpit seating area. Now, as you would expect, you can drop a table in there. You can either bring the one out from the saloon and put it down if you want a bigger dining table, but there is a slightly smaller sort of coffee table that fits in there as well. Down behind us, smooth that out of the way, is your shore power locker. And then you've got decent sized chunky stainless steel cleats with stainless fair leads. Lovely cappings in teak. In fact, before we go any further, let's go and have a look around the foredeck while it's dry today. Again, keeping with the usual Princess, decent handrails. There's another one up here. Decent wide side decks. You can walk side by side the whole way up, and the handrail is just above sort of about thigh height. Lovely decent sized foredeck. Cushions, as you can imagine, can drop into there to give you a bit of sunbathing, and then there's a couple of cup holder inserts. Right the way forward, again, gives you decent sized cleats, nice stainless steel cleats, and again fair leads as well. Scape hatch there for the foredeck, and quite a decent Lumar anchor windlass with a bollard on top, which is really neat, especially if you're berthing in the Med. It helps pull those bow lines in. And then down in here, it's a bit slippery on this deck with socks on, is your anchor locker. Freshwater deck wash outlet there, and then tucked around just behind us down there is the remote control for the windlass. Nice to see that it's on a gas strut, which makes it a bit easier to lift it in and out in the wind. Beautiful swivel on the anchor, and a lovely solid stainless anchor on there as well. So that is the foredeck. Quick spin round, give you an idea of her in all her glory, and we shall head back inside. It's interesting actually when you look at this from the outside. They've got these lovely sweeping windows, which I'm just going to quickly show you now just for the sake of it. So there you go, you can see them here, the way they sweep back. They look very stylish, but they don't look like they're going to put a lot of light in board, but actually they do. So we're just going to have a quick peek inside first to give you an idea of how those windows throw light into the boat. But then before we go inside, we're going to pop upstairs again to try and catch it in case it decides to rain. So lovely big inset steps, so no pokey ladder. Grab rails on both sides that follow you right the way up. Little pin lights that illuminate the steps at night, take you straight up another grab rail as you come up onto this truly fantastic flybridge. Now if I perch myself in the corner here, like so, it gives you an indication of the helm station, the upstairs dinette and the aft sun pad. And then right at the back here, got a perspex window here to allow you to sit here and actually on the sun lounger and look out the back as you're going along. And up the top here we've got the radar arch with open array Furuno radar, and then nav lights, TV aerial, GPS transmitter, receiver. So these are all finished in silver tech. They've all very, very recently been done. There is quite an impressive size locker under there for covers and bits and pieces, again on gas struts. Put that cushion back. Beautiful dinette, again all finished in this fabulous hard wearing water resistant silver tech with a beautiful little grey line running right the way through. Helm station over on the port side, twin helm seats, and pretty much a full replication of the downstairs helm. So there's a clip for your VHF radio, engine fire suppression system, trim tabs, 2 EVC throttle controllers. Down here is your engine EVC sort of control panel. As you looked at earlier, controllers for the bow and stern thruster, so you can effectively push those over to the side and push the boat sideways, or if you want to you can twist it round in its own footprint. Furuno GPS system and radar. There's a secondary Garmin GPS over there, and then you've got the tri-data systems for the speed and the log and the depth and bits and pieces. And this one is your autopilot, twin engines. So the boat comes with a couple of Volvo Penta D6 435 engines. We'll have a look at those in a moment, because like the rest of the boat, you could eat your dinner in the engine bay, and the rest of the engine analog controls there. So that's your view forward. The nice thing about this is you've got a really good view down the side as well, and equally standing at the helm, if you look down you can look through there, pretty much see the back of the bathing platform. And equally this perspex screen at the back makes it really easy to have a quick glance over the back and see exactly where your bathing platform is. And this large perspex door here, that drops down, so if you've got people up on the flybridge you can shut that down for safety. And equally, because there's a massive canvas run of inserts that runs around the back, you can effectively make this whole saloon area weatherproof by shutting that drawer down and then dropping all these covers down and completely infilling this fabulous bit of entertaining space. Whilst we're here, there's a couple of extra lockers in here. That one there, which has got your fuel shut-offs down the bottom and your bilge pump setups. There's also another one, similar format, down here, cleaning bits and pieces. And that there is the controller for your passerelle. There is, which one is it, down here? Oh, no, I've locked it. Hang on a second, I'm just going to change hands. Is a lazarette. So loads and loads of storage space down here. It goes right the way into the back corner over there. Down here is the Owen generator, 5k, so that'll run pretty much everything on board. And then you can see more storage over there with battery banks over there, and just tucked in the corner there looks to be a master volt inverter. So plenty of room down there. And under the other one down here is the engine bay, which we'll have a look at the end of the tour. So moving from the cockpit into the saloon via this massive and beautiful Princess stainless steel doors, 2-part doors running on this big track, takes you into the saloon, which is in spotless condition. I mean, even the headlining is just incredible. So starboard side, big C-shaped seating area, finished in like a cream leather. with a high gloss, very high gloss table. And as I mentioned earlier, this table here, you can actually lift it out and put it in the cockpit if you want to have some dining, and obviously then drop some director's chairs alike around that, and you've got great dining space. So a really lovely table, and it's one of those heavy base tables, so it's just got a very heavy base to hold itself up. Port side is a little mini sofa, which is great if you're having an evening, family evening, where you can have friends or people on board. That also slides out and makes into a double bed. And if you're in that double bed, don't worry, you've got close access to a fridge in there. Lovely little drinks cabinet in here with all the moulded glass space. Boat comes with Eberspacher warm air heating system, and that's your controller. Princess branded clock and barometer. And obviously the main bulk of the engine sits under the floor. So this access hatch here is for quick inspection or to get into the engine bay. But if you're doing any major work on it, you can effectively lift the floor out should you need to. A couple of steps forward takes you to the helm station. 2 steps up. Beautiful again, princess finished seats in cream leather. Like that. And the current owner has had all of the black area, or the sort of graphite grey area you see here, this whole section has all been repainted, and I would say that's to a factory finish. So start with over here under this panel you've got your electric control panel, so that's shore power, AC and DC volts, and all the trips and everything over here for the lights, shore power, that kind of stuff. Usual array of Carling switches here. And there's the repeater, or the master unit for the radar and the GPS. Another bit of storage over here. And then exactly the same as upstairs really. You've got your bow and stern thrusters, your throttle controllers over there, trim tabs, and if it's cast all the way down here, look, it's remote control. So this remote control allows you to stand on the bow or the stern and effectively control the bow thrusters. So you can hold the boat onto the dock if you wanted to as you're heading off before you drop the lines, and then work your way up to either this station or the helm station upstairs. And as I say, pretty much a repeat of all the equipment that you can see upstairs, and analog engine gauges there. There is a little opening window here, so you can open that to get some ventilation through or to talk to the crew. Great visibility forwards, and because of those massive doors, really good visibility behind as well. So 2 steps down takes you back to the saloon, and then 2 steps further down takes you into the galley. Lovely wooden floor down here. Corian. Oh, there's another step there. Corian worktop. There's a Neff's ceramic halogen hob. Double sinks. If you've seen a sink, you know what the other one looks like. This big white lumpy thing here is the dehumidifier, so we're still sort of early in the season, so there's a little bit of moisture in the atmosphere. Hidden behind that is a microwave, and then behind these lovely doors you have things like your crockery and general storage in here as well. Pretty standard stuff, but really good social space, because if you are in the galley and you're cooking, you're not hidden away from everybody else who's on board, be it people socialising in the saloon or even skipper and the navigator driving the boat. You'll also notice there's a decent size Dometic fridge down here. I would say that's pretty much a domestic size fridge, and neatly dotted around, there's power points all over the place. And over here is your freshwater tank gauge. Oh, and also, take another step back without falling down the step. These steps lift up to give you added storage. So I lift that step up. You'll see down below there is access to bilge and just some little general storage to keep your vacuum cleaners or bags or whatever you fancy down there. And it looks to me like there is a little locker down here. Oh, so there you go. That's where you keep your pots and pans. Or, if it's your boat, keep whatever you like down there. Bit of extra storage under the sink here. I know everybody talks about storage and everybody spends a lot of time showing you the cupboards, but storage on a boat is really, really important. It's hard to have too much of it. And if you think this is a boat that can sleep 6 people, you need a fair bit of storage. So from the galley, you then move forward to the accommodation area. And again, there's a little sort of ante-chamber here. First cabin, starboard side, takes us into a twin bedded cabin. Now this owner has effectively had a mattress and put it over the top of those 2 single beds, which makes an absolutely vast double bed. I don't know how well I can squeeze this into this camera shot, but if I lift it up here, look, you can see down there, there's bed 1, there's bed 2, and that's the void between them. So if it's your boat, you can turn that into 2 singles, or you could keep it as an absolutely massive double bed. Now obviously, because of the helm station that's above us, it does drop down, but you do get 2 opening port lights, which is really neat. Little TV on there, and a decent size. Just move that heater out the way for a sec. Decent size, probably can't see in there because it's going to be as black as anything, but decent storage locker with hanging space in there. Little black circle down there is your warm air heating, and then over here this door gives you access to effectively the shared heads. So this is the day head and also the head for this cabin. Conventional loo, again lovely Corian worktops, moulded in sink, opening port light, more storage across the top, and a lovely stainless steel rimmed circular shower with lovely teak flooring, all inlaid. And there's the buttons for the loo, electric vacuum pump loo, and your little storage cupboard in there as well. So from a day head's perspective, we'll go out the day, oh no we won't, we'll go back round this way, we'll shut that door behind us, back out into the lobby, and again, because the windscreen runs so far forward, there's an incredible amount of light in here. So this is now the door for the day heads, which is the heads that we've just looked at. And again, you can see, looking down there, there's warm air heating in here, which is nice because no one wants to get out of the shower when it's a bit chilly. And that takes us forward to the master cabin. Now this has a very large centerline double berth, a nice wide bed as well. Storage drawers underneath, down there. 2 steps either side, take you round and up into the bed. You go past, big mirror here, which gives you access to a double shelved wardrobe. And then there's more storage in these little lockers around the side here. Big opening port lights both sides. There's that deck window hatch that we looked at earlier. Same over there, and then behind in there is an absolutely vast wardrobe. And the last thing to look at in here is then the en-suites. So again, beautiful woodwork. Look at the reflection in that high gloss wood. You can see the bed. Incredible. So this is a 2007 boat, so she's been beautifully looked after and maintained. Electric vacuum flush loo, fairly similar format, lovely dark anthracite and gold Corian worktops, moulded sink, opening port lights, storage, mirror, and a repeat of that. Quite convenient really. Those circular showers are so good. You can shut yourself in, it seals off the bottom of the floor, you don't get water everywhere. Really, really practical. So that's the ensuite heads. So there you go. That is a Princess 42 from 2007. Now we will just, as promised, finish off in the engine bay. while I was down here, I just noticed that you've also got an outside warm air vent, so you can heat the cockpit. No, wrong way around. So again, beautifully lined engine hatch on a gas strut. Also a lovely checker plate down there, so bear with me, I'm just going to drop down in my socks. A couple of steps down. Takes you into this incredibly clean engine bay. Look at that. So as I mentioned before, a couple of Volvo Penta D6 435s. Now these are going to give her probably around a 22 knot comfortable cruise, and I think it's about 32 knots flat out. Now obviously top speed will depend on load and sea conditions, but yeah, fully maintained. These engines have been serviced every year in accordance with the manufacturer's specifications. You can see she's on shafts, so effectively that's the gearbox over there. Actually show on the other side, it's a bit easier. Gearbox coming out the back of the engine, and that shaft runs right the way down under the boat to the props. You've got raw water intakes here, fuel water separators there, and that big white thing over there is the exhaust muffler. But look how good the access is. Fire extinguisher down the end there, just spotless. One of the cleanest engine bays I've seen in a long time. So there you go. What an incredibly clean and tidy boat. So if you want to learn more about this boat or have a look around or even buy it, talk to Richard at Origin Yachts. He'd be more than happy to help you out. We will finish, I think, just having another look down the side of this beautiful 2007 Princess 42. Thank you very much for watching. Do please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time round.